Hair is going cray. That's fine. Maybe short bangs again. Come here. You gotta calm down. Hello, and welcome to the Once Upon a Corgi Podcast. This is episode 87. I'm your host, Gabby, and we are joined today by both Audrey and Iron, who... Iron's got energy. Audrey has an injured paw, so she's been the cutest little patootist all day. Just have to point that out there. You can find me everywhere online as Gabagales and all my hand-dyed yarn at Once Upon a Corgi and onceuponacorgi.com. All the show notes will be down below for this video, and I'm going to figure out how to actually link things, because apparently you can do that now. Why did he just put my knee in his mouth? This is a Puppy Interrupted crafting podcast coming to you from Southern Connecticut, where we knit, spin, dye, sew, and all other crafty things that we get into. Oh, I forgot my ring. This is how you lose stuff. It happened. Oh no. That was almost real bad. That could have been real bad. Okay. Told you what you are. Nope, I told you what we are. Told you who I am. Go on the bed, bud. I did post the pumpkin make-along prize winner video, and Joanna has ear-burned all the winners in the Ravelry group. What? Do you want to come? Do you want to do this? Do you want a podcast for me? No, I don't. Oh, I just want belly rubs. I just want belly rubs. I'm trying to do this quickly and efficiently. It's not working. I think that's it for administrative things. There is an event coming up, Vogue Knitting Live, at the Marriott in Times Square. I should know this, but I don't. I know where it is. I don't know what it's called. I am going the 26th of January. It is the 25th, 26th, 27th. So I will be there on Saturday all day. If you see me and you would like to say hi, please say hello. I will be there with Adrian and meeting up with a bunch of friends. I have no plans to buy anything. That's the rule. We're not allowed to buy any yarn until I don't know when. Sometime. I will be able to buy yarn again eventually. After all the wedding payments are done, then I can go on a bender / Rhinebeck. Rhinebeck I'll probably buy yarn. So yeah, I will be there on Saturday, and again, if you want to say hi, please come up and say hello. Before I get into the making, we'll go into what I'm wearing. Do you want to go on the bed? Do you just want to talk while I'm talking? Go get a ball. Go get your ball. We'll show them. Where's Brian? Go get Brian. I am wearing the Zweig by Catilin Hunter in my hand-dyed yarn on my Marie Cutie base, which is a Corriedale nylon blend in the colorways Oswald for Mayor and La Dame Death. It is one of my favorite sweaters. I knit it as a sample only, and then I put it on because I needed a sweater at my parents' house, and now I never want to take it off. I love it. I love Catilin Hunter's patterns. That was a very weird accent, and I love this base. I think it's my new favorite base. If I had to die on one base, it might just be this one. I think so. I think this is my desert island base. We are drinking coffee today. I got a little sample pack of Starbucks coffees for Christmas from my parents, so we are trying, I forgot the name of it, but it's called Dark and Stormy. No, the description's Dark and Stormy. It's really good. I don't like dark blend coffees. I think they're too bitter, but this one's okay. Okay, let's finally let's get into some knitting. I don't have a ton to show you today. I've only been working on a couple things. I do have some finished objects. Iron almost just ran off with one of them. The first finished object is... Oh, Pumpkin, she's not gonna play. Her paw's injured. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. Puppy update, I guess, which is very important. Audrey's front right paw, she's limping, but she's not, because this is what you all come to see. There's no muscle stiffness. She doesn't react when you move any of her joints or her leg or stretch or pull anything. Not like I'm ripping on her leg, I'm just testing it. But she does have a small, it looks like a small scratch on one of the pads of her paws, so we cleaned it. She didn't do anything. She just sort of stared at me like, please mother, please stop. So we're just letting her rest for a little bit, and we'll see what happens. It doesn't look like there's anything stuck in it, so I'm not sure what's happened. I thought she slept on it weird because she woke up in such like a weird little donut that maybe her paw fell asleep, but it's still happening. So we're just keeping an eye on her. Puppy update, finished objects. We have finished the sparkling cider hat by Kristin from Vine, and this is out of our hand-dyed yarn in the Tannenbaum colorway on our penny and big lace, which is merino cashmere nylon and kid mohair silk. And I love it. I've worn it a couple times already. I'll put it on. I did do 2 extra repeats of the cable bit. I hope you can see this. So it does have some slouch. I don't think I'm going to put a pom-pom on it because my head, I hope you can see this. My head is very prone to shoving hats off of it. The bangs don't help the situation, I think, because I don't want to squish them like I'm doing right now. So the pom-poms tend to just pull the hats right off. I also think the way my hair is, hats just slide off the top of my head. So I don't wear them that often, but it was a really fun knit. And it was a really good sample bit, and I think it's going to be really nice now that winter's finally here to have to let the dogs out or take them on walks and where to run errands and stuff, where to knit group, have no line of vision because it's just stabbing my bangs into my eyeballs. But I really like it. I highly recommend this pattern. Her patterns are beautiful, but this was such a fun and quick knit. I easily could have done this in a week if that's all I wanted to knit on. I did do the beading. I used these caramel color, I think size 60 millimeter. I don't remember the bead sizes. I don't know where they are. I think I have like 5 left. I used them in my Fairy Hill shawl by Helen Stewart, and I had just enough left over to use in this hat. And I love it. I am so excited for it. It just sits on my desk and I look at it and it's pretty. I haven't even blocked it yet, and this is, it looks so good still. I think after the winter time I will block it, so then it's ready for next year. And now we're gonna pause and try and fix our bangs. So that is finished object number 1. Highly recommend pattern, and it was a really easy cable to do. Not like it's a cable, but cable needles are involved. So good job. I don't know what else to say besides this was amazing and I love it. I have 1 half object, if you will, which is, as most half objects are, a pair of socks, which are inside out. Hold on. These are a pair of vanilla socks that I knit on size 2.25 Hiya Sharps. I do 64 stitches for socks for me, and it is on the Zauberball yarn, which is a 75/25 single ply. I believe it's virgin wool and polyamide. I could be wrong. I don't know where I put the ball band, but it's the Octoberfest colorway that Becky from Stringing It Together in Soprano Knits sent me as a gift, and I did a fish lips kiss heel, rounded toe, and 2x2 twisted rib. It's a super long leg and I love it so much. I just love how the colors go. I don't know what else to say. It was my movie theater sock, so I have, as one does, cast on the second sock to get it ready to go to the movies. We don't have any plans to go to the movies anytime soon, but I like to have one ready at all times. So I've done part of the cuff. I usually do about 15 to 20 rows, so I'm about halfway there now. And I don't think I have much else to say about it. It's a plain vanilla mindless sock knit, which I don't know if my sock mojo's totally back. I think I'm still on a sweater kick, but garments and wardrobes have been on my mind a lot recently, so I'm not surprised by that. I'll probably touch more in that in Beyond Crafting because wardrobe and garments have been sort of on the front of my brain, if you will, as the old saying goes. So no sock mojo yet, but I think it'll be back soon. I'm gonna let it simmer because I do have a lot of beautiful single skein of sock yarn stuff that I want to be socks. So I'm trying not to push myself too hard and end up getting mad at them, if you will. Does that make sense? So those are my finished objects, half objects, and my new cast on. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. I'm going to apologize for any anything, but I do have a slight headache because I didn't have coffee before I left for bar this morning. So I have a caffeine headache right now, trying to fix that. So if I just sort of like look off into the distance for a little bit and don't edit it out because my brain shut down, that's why. This is me, this is real. I do have a new cast on, and it is, surprise, surprise, a shawl. No, it's not, just kidding. I don't know why I said that. It's a sweater. I have to cast on a shawl. This is the sweater I showed you the swatch for last week. I'm trying to look for my pattern and talk to you at the same time. I don't think my pattern's in my book, or bag. Okay, this is the Shady Side pullover by Samantha Guerin Designs, and this is a test knit for her. I just had this all nice and neat, and then I tangled it up. She designed the sweater in my hand-dyed yarns on my Marie Cutie base and the fig lace. And so I am knitting it on my Audrey base because I had some blank Audrey in stock and I was playing around with color and fig lace. So here's what I have so far. It's a little awkward to show because it's not a lot of stitches on a big cable right now. I am, in the beginning, it's a top-down raglan style sweater, and as you can see from the back here, it's going to be striped. So I did my Audrey base on the Moonlight colorway, which is a new golden tonal that is being released on Sunday, and I'm holding it with Nightmares Plus 10 on the fig lace for this super low-key Hufflepuff striped sweater, and I am so excited for it. I'm in the arm increases right now, and I think once I get the sleeves separated, this is going to zoom by so quickly, and I'm so excited. I'm hoping to get this done before the end of February. This is a test knit, and I know she wants to get this pattern out while the weather's still cool, so I think this is going to be a very quick, mindless but interesting knit, I think. You can kind of zone out. You only have to keep track of the rows a little bit to make sure your stripes are even, but it's very good TV, at-home movie, hanging out with friends, kind of knitting, and I really enjoy that. It's very good knit group knitting. And I've got my little hand from Ritual Dyes as my my fancy charm on this guy, and then my little fox from, is it Akara Yarns? I have a sock set right here. This little fox charm from Akara Yarns when we did a little swap with a skeiny yarn and a charm. He just brings me so much joy. Alright, now my shelf's a mess. That's fine. I know that skein's in here somewhere. I really wanted to knit with it too. There it is. Nope, there's not. That's somebody else. Is this it? No. Yes. Yes. Okay. We're fine. We're good. What else to say? I'm not alternating skeins with this just yet because right now there's so many ends. I think after I do the body or the chest bust area and I get past the sleeves, I will start alternating the yellows. It is indie dyed yarn. They were dyed in the same batch, so I'm not too worried about it. They don't look too different. They don't look too different, so I'm not too concerned with it at this very moment. And now we're tangled in the needles. Ooh, this is a disaster, guys. Podcast, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Okay, this is great. Alright, try and get these back in the bag. And we were just chugging along on that. I wanted to get this cast on first. I do want to cast on my Itchel pullover, I hope I'm saying that right, by Catherine Clark. I think I'm going to sit down and do that on, I don't know when. I haven't decided what days are my days off on this week yet. I'm trying to work on making them the same as Jake so then we can actually see each other. But his schedule is sort of cray-cray right now because of the time of the season. Restaurants are starting to roll out their new menus, so his work schedule is a little bit crazy because we're trying to prepare for that. Here we are. I love it so much. I'm so excited for it. And I did put, she just revamped her website and she got new photographs done by Gail Zucker for a couple of her projects. So I have a link in the down box to check out the new website. And that's all I've been knitting. I put a couple rows into my advent cowl, but not enough to really show you. I haven't touched my blanket. I haven't really been knitting before bed. I would like to change that and get back into that routine. Oh, I just stubbed my toe while sitting. And no sewing as of yet. My whip bin is ever growing. My mending bin is ever growing because I just keep wearing all my things all the time. As one should when they make their clothes. I don't know where that was going. All right, I think that's it for all the crafting. I haven't really spun anything. I do have some sewing plans in the works. I've been eyeballing some fabric. I do want to go to Affordable Fabric soon and see what they have in stock before I go to Joann's or Fabric.com. I like to check them out 100% because of the price. It's a budget thing right now. But with that, I guess we'll get into shop update news and then beyond crafting. So I'm gonna go gather all the shop update stuff. And if you are not here for that, thank you so much for watching. And if you're here for the rest of the episode, we'll continue on. For shop update news, you can sign up for the newsletter on our website at onceuponacorgi.com. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, there will be a newsletter sign up, and that will send out a weekly update letting you know where we're gonna be, what's gonna go up into the shop for the update, and we started a new section with what people are knitting with our yarn. So if you would like to be on that, just use the hashtag onceuponacorgiyarn on Instagram. That's usually where I find everybody who's been knitting with my stuff. And it's been really nice to see all the different projects and yarn pairings that people have been doing with either all my yarn or other people's yarn and my yarn. It's really a humbling experience to see people enjoy my work so much. So with that, we will be having a shop update January 13th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is a Sunday. I think the Sunday updates are kind of working. So we'll stick with them for a little bit. If you guys have a better day in mind, let me know. So we will be having across the bases Penny, Isaac, and Marie Cutie. Penny, Isaac, Marie Cutie, and a couple gingers. We're all we will be having something Sinister, which is this beautiful neutral gray tan brown tonal with speckles. So it's a nice neutral, but it's not just a flat gray, and I really like it for everything, basically. Socks, sweaters, shawls. I keep putting it in everything. We will have a ton of Like My Cold Dead Heart on all those bases as well. It's one of our most popular colorways, and I keep looking up at the shelf and seeing that there's none on the shop shelf, so I'm going to make sure we get a huge batch in this week. And I haven't skeined these up because they just came off the drying rack. But we will be debuting our newest tonal, which is Moonlight. It is this beautiful yellow, muted yellow, and I love, this is on Marie Cutie and Isaac. Same recipe, just it takes the dye so differently, and I love it so much. I love seeing the different bases and how they take the dye. Isaac is 100% superwash Polworth, Marie Cutie is the Corriedale nylon, and it's just a tone golden yellow with speckles of deeper yellows and golds and a little bit of browns. So that's joining the repertoire. I'm very excited for it. And those are going up again at 10 a.m. on January 13th, which is this Sunday. And thank you to everybody who visits the shop, shares everything, and supports the shop. It really means so much to be able to do this as my full-time job for 2 years now. Two years and some months. I never know how to say thank you because I feel like saying it doesn't express how thankful I really am. So just deal with my awkward, like, hey, thanks guys. The rest of this is beyond crafting, so it's what I've been up to outside of the crafting life community. So if you were not here for any of that, thank you so much for watching, and let us continue on. It is the beginning of the new year, and I believe last week I talked about the Marie Kondo tidying up episodes a little bit, and I have done that. I believe I talked about it last week. I've sort of slowed the roll until I can get a good couple of days to sit down and figure out what I want to do next. I think I'm okay on most of our stuff. It's now just setting up a cleaning schedule because dog hair and dust. I'm bad at dusting, and there's just a lot of dog hair. So on Cleaning with Gabby, next week, test vacuums. Just kidding. I only have one vacuum. It had a picture of a corgi on it, and that's why we bought it.
Oh, my coffee's gold already.
I totally forgot what we did this week. I don't think we did anything. New Year's was last week. It's really been kind of getting back into the work schedule, making sure that I think I work better with a set schedule, so I've been trying to implement that. My alarm clock, which I think you can see, broke, so Amazon just sent me a new one today, which is super exciting. It started making like banshee noises in the morning, and then all the buttons stopped working, so I couldn't hit snooze. So it was just screaming at me. It was awful. It was terrifying. Not a lot happened in the past week. I'm slowly realizing it was a lot of working. We had a couple friends over to play. I got the Game of Thrones board game for Christmas, so we finally managed to sit down and play a full game of that. It's kind of like Risk, but I've never played Risk, so I'm not sure if it's actually like Risk. People have told me it's like Risk. It's extensive and sometimes confusing, but that's Game of Thrones. I'm not sure what else we were expecting. My big plan for the next couple of weeks is, sorry, my email's going off. I would like to, in the next week, go through all of my fabric stuff and start pulling out things that I'm actually going to use, putting them in the piles of what's ready to go, what needs a project, and what I am looking to de-stash. I think I'm going to do the fabric first and then the yarn. I know I have some stuff that I would like to find some new homes for. I don't know if I'm gonna sell it or just offer it with asking for people to pay for shipping or something like that, just to make sure it gets to a good home instead of sitting on my shelf collecting dust and sadness, as I feel like sometimes they are. I have gone through in Marie Kondo's, KonMari, is that the verb of it? I went through all of my all of my wardrobe, my dresser, my hanging clothes, none of my SEA gowns, because that's a whole other thing. And I didn't get rid of a lot, just a couple t-shirts and old hoodies, and I think 2 dresses that were store-bought dresses. And it does feel a lot better, even though I don't have a ton of clothing at the moment. It's not really a capsule wardrobe, but it's sort of a forced capsule wardrobe, because I'm sort of in the limbo of not sure what to make. I feel like that wasn't a complete thought, but I'm not sure how to finish it. Leave this here before I get too rambly. It has been a day. So I will see you all next week. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the shop, and we will see you next week. Bye.